I sustained very bad injuries to my face this month. I'm in the stage of healing when the scar tissue has formed, but it's still very tender, new skin. I'm going to have very obvious facial scarring for the rest of my life. The injury starts about an inch above my hairline, goes down over my brow so that on part, hair will not grow. It continues down my cheek where it is deepest. I'll always probably have an indentation in the fullest part of my cheek. Then it continues to my jawline. In some ways it's okay. I'm happy it's just cosmetic damage. My friends are super reassuring, telling me how badass and sick it's gonna look. They say I'm still as hot as ever, now a little more sexy and mysterious lol. But in some ways it really sucks. I know that I'm always gonna be seen first as the girl with the scar, and it feels especially bad when people look at me differently. This week, I had to fly home for a family thing. It was a plan I'd made long before my injury. I wasn't really looking forward to the pity or people making a big deal of it. I'd rather it not be acknowledged. I'd also met with my dermatologist who said that I was at the stage of scar tissue formation that I no longer should be dressing the wounds. The skin was healing and instead I needed to be applying topical cream and Vaseline to keep the site clean and moist. It also looks a bit ugly. The building scar tissue is very red and tender, and with the Vaseline over it, looks slick and shiny. So I get on this flight, I have the window seat and I put on my headphones and drift off to sleep when the plane is still boarding. I wake up to this kid, maybe 4 years old, sat next to me, throwing a tantrum. I didn't catch the first part of it and I honestly couldn't understand what he was yelling about. His father said to me, "Can you cover that injury?" I said that my dermatologist recommends I don't, so no, I don't think I will. He started snapping at me saying, "There is no need to be so rude. That injury is graphic and it's scaring my little one." I said, "This is my face. The only damn face I've got. It sucks being told I'm so ugly I can't show my goddamn face in public." He started to backtrack saying, "Just until it's healed." And I said, "It'll always be with me. Maybe teach some fucking compassion and respect instead of telling a girl half your damn age what you think about her face. That's rude." He actually got up after that and I think went to a stewardess about a seat change because a young couple came to sit next to me on a few minutes instead. I've got to admit I felt so low that I put on my sunglasses and had a quiet cry for a few minutes. AITA for not covering my healing scar, and for being confrontational about it.
Removed.
That dude is the asshole. You did nothing wrong. Okay kid, you're afraid. Time for a life lesson. To turn it around on you and insist you are responsible for ensuring the comfort of his kid makes me sick. And I would have been far more blunt with that father. Does the same apply if you were an amputee? Had extreme psoriasis or another skin disorder? Where does it end? Shall we place everyone who looks a little different down in the baggage hole to ensure we don't upset anyone? If it truly bothered him to that extent, he could have quietly asked the stewardess for help and not upset you. People can be rude, selfish and flat-out assholes, and I'm sorry you got stuck beside one. Good luck in the healing process.
NTA, what kind of asshole makes a comment like that? Nice that he is teaching his son to be afraid of people who look different. I am sorry this happened to you.
Dear God, no, you're absolutely NTA. People that are that heartless shouldn't be allowed in public. JFC. I'm so sorry that happened to you. It does sound like it looks pretty badass, for the record. Rock what you got, girl. Sign of the horns, light skin tone.
Absolutely 100% NTA. I understand the kid was young, but Dad could have used it as a teaching moment, like you said, and showed some compassion. I remember vividly as a child, my niece rudely pointing out someone's disability in a similar fashion. More curious than afraid, granted, and my mom took the time to tell her it was rude to loudly point things out about people, asked her how she would feel if someone started loudly commenting on her, and explained everyone is different and that is okay. She never did it again and she was like 7. Dad could have also quietly asked to move seats without even involving you as well. He chose to be the asshole here.
NTA. Dad could have used it as an opportunity to teach his kid about real life. Personally, I'd be telling people I am a retired pirate.
Finally, a question I can answer as an expert. I'm a 37 years old man. When I was 2 years and 4 months old, I was in a car accident that left me with a large scar from the hairline above me left eye, across my forehead, and through my right eyebrow. I was fortunate that this was a laceration, not blunt force trauma. Which means the damage is mostly superficial aside from a little nerve damage where I cannot wink my right eye and it actually stays open just a smidge while I sleep. Sorry to talk about myself before answering your question, but I feel like this information is important. First of all, you're 100% NTA. You're following your doctor's orders, and the dad-child were being inconsiderate of your feelings. Your response was adequate. Second, being known as a person with a big scar on your face isn't too bad. It's interesting how few people ask about it. Most are just too polite and choose to ignore it or keep their curiosity to themselves. Occasionally a person with a lot of compassion may ask, or an especially callous person may ask, but they are uncommon. It's true, I've never known a life without this defining aspect of my appearance. Regardless of it, I'm a pretty solid public speaker. I've taught classes related to my profession and presented many things to audiences of various sizes without a second thought about my scar of how they might perceive me. Friendship, dating, love, and romance have not been struggles in my life. Your scar is just an addition to the person you already are. It makes you unique and interesting. Unless you made your living as a model, it's unlikely to change anything in your life. Anyone who recoils from you or doesn't appreciate your experience is very likely a person you'd be better off never knowing anyhow, so in that way it could be a blessing. If you're interested in sharing pics of your scar or seeing how mine looks, and how yours may look in a few years, feel free to PM. There are not enough of us out there gracing the world with our battle-worn yet beautiful mugs, so I'd hate for us not to unite.
NTA. Hang in there and keep fighting the fight. Based upon that story, you're strong. Continue to build on that strength each day.
NTA. There's just no other way I can see this. He called you out for something beyond your control. He missed an opportunity to show compassion and teach his kid how to communicate with others.